Stephen Hawking's party to scientists back in 2009. But even if that's possible, we may never know if they even got the message.
Quantum mechanics throws a monkey wrench into this and suggests that maybe the past can branch into many different futures.
You have an interaction between two subatomic particles, and there's a probability it will go one way and a probability it'll go another way. To us, observing it, it only seems to go one way. But there's this interpretation of quantum mechanics that says they both happen. You've now created two universes. The timeline is split.
In the quantum world, sending a particle, invitations to a party, or even a DeLorean back in time could create a new timeline. In the new timeline, Hawking's party might have been packed with partygoers, but we aren't part of that timeline, and neither is our Stephen Hawking.
You're not time traveling back into your own universe and changing things. You're traveling to another universe at that point of time and changing things from there on forward. And it doesn't matter if you change things then, because in that universe, you don't get born later to go back in time to change things. That happened in another universe. I know this stuff is hard to understand. It's hard to explain, too. Maybe if there are an infinite number of universes, there's an alternate version of me that understands it. I hope he has more.
For now, time travel is still science fiction.
So in my personal view, nothing is going to go backward in time. Particles, information, anything like that. Sometimes you hear reports of something going backward in time or being undone or whatever. It's really nothing more than a fancy version of playing a movie backward in time.
But perhaps someday, scientists will discover a source of exotic matter to prop open a wormhole, or find a way to bend space-time back on itself.
You know, never say never, because what we consider science now would have been considered science fiction or the lunatics of a madman a century ago.
But I'm holding out a little bit of hope. Because very smart people have tried to prove that it's actually impossible and failed. You should never say never.
And along the way, maybe we'll learn a bit more about how the universe works.
Time travel is definitely more science fiction than science fact, but thinking about time travel and trying to understand why it might not be possible is really interesting and can teach us a lot about the nature of our universe.
It's also really fascinating to think about this because it forces us to take on some of the toughest unanswered questions in all of physics, and will ultimately probably lead to deeper understanding of the very nature of reality.
To take the analogy of Alice in Wonderland, the universe really does keep leading us farther and farther down the rabbit hole.
From its origins during California's gold rush to its present as a tech mecca, San Francisco has always been one of the world's quintessential boom towns. But one of the biggest literal booms ever to hit this city happened right where I'm standing, downtown San Francisco on Post Street, between Montgomery and Kearny, more than 150 years ago. On April 16, 1866, an unmarked mysterious crate leaking an oily substance was delivered here to Wells Fargo's shipping and receiving department. A well-meaning clerk decided to ascertain what was inside this unmarked crate, and as it was held shut with nails, he went to work on it with a hammer and a chisel, and his action triggered a massive explosion that leveled the entire building. Shattered windows were blocked, rattled structures more than a quarter of a mile away, and killed 15 people. What could have caused such a horrific blast? The famously volatile explosive liquid, nitroglycerin. But right here on the bottle, it says, "Drop it and die." And for one, I can't wait to play it some. On this episode, I take a close look at something best observed from a reasonable distance. The legendary explosive, nitroglycerin, and stage a series of daring, definitive, perfect stuff right there, and somewhat ill-advised experiments
to look for is actually the seating arrangements in there today. Normally you'll see the cabinet secretaries all seated around the table with the president. You often have top advisors, senior advisors.
At least 2 secretaries, I believe, have not yet been confirmed at this point, so they will be gathering around the table with him. We don't, Jose, at this point know how long this meeting might go or whether we'll eat.
McNahon, Bondi, Musk is not a secretary, but we saw him walking in with Bondi. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, and Vice President J.D. Vance all entering. So this is going to be starting shortly. But again, one key thing I'll be watching for, Erica, is who exactly, who is sitting where and what the dynamics are in that room.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that stands out is I can't help but think back, Mark, to the first cabinet meeting in the first Trump administration, which was a little bit different, I think, than what we're used to seeing in these moments, where it was sort of going around and praising Donald Trump. I'm curious to see what it will look like in this moment, also because of a tweet that, I shouldn't say a tweet, a Truth Social post from the president earlier today where he wrote in all caps, all cabinet members are extremely happy with Elon. The media will see that at the cabinet meeting this morning. I'm not sure if that's a directive to the